So we're going to be talking about your song breakdown on Charlie Puth's Light Switch. The first thing that we do these in order, so we're looking at the melody first. What kind of interesting tidbits do you have about the melody?
Like it says in there, there's a lot of little ad-lib things in the middle of the singing.
Yeah.
And I put those all in there too. Yeah, it's like it's a call and answer kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's kind of he's singing a line, then he's answering himself on another track, like, oh yeah. And so there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
As far as like, there's not that much of as far as backing vocals and stuff.
Okay. And this goes back to like pop sensibilities. I feel like that became a big thing, like, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, where not only did we move everything into a higher range, like if you're going to be a male pop singer, you need to sing in these higher keys, but then there's just an overuse of background vocals, I think. Not background vocals per se. I mean, he's doing all the backing tracks, I get it, but it's still just like, you aren't performing that live that way, right?
Right. Yeah, I don't know how he does it live, really. I mean,
computers have ruined us, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I can see that.
Well, and I think it goes to like the rest of the production, like moving on to the keyboards. It's kind of the same idea, right? Like your keyword was lots of keyboards going on in this song.
Right. It's like a lot of the songs nowadays. It's pretty much made up of keyboards and I think drum machine too. So the bass is the synth probably, and then drum machine and keyboards. I heard a little guitar in there. That could be guitar, could not be guitar.
Yeah.
Some sounded a lot more guitar. Yeah. But so it's basically like your normal kind of production these days. Get on your DAW, your digital audio workstation, and turn on your Ableton or whatever they have, Pro Tools.
Well, and it's it's very much the Billie Eilish style as well, right? I can build this all in my bedroom, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just I miss rock and roll, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Right, actually having players play together.
Yeah, that feel of the room and the feel of everything not being perfect. Because like right away, like in the beginning on the drum, I'm jumping around a little bit, but at the beginning of the song with that drum set, is there a it's not a cowbell, is it? It's just like a weird effect. It's not only Edge of Tom, but it's a muffled cowbell.
Okay.
Like it just it all just sounds so perfect, right? So perfectly in time.
Right. He's got like the right. Yeah, there's like a muffled cowbell in there in the background. And then, one of the more kind of, I don't know how to describe it, overly obvious, but maybe kind of cool things is he actually has a light switch sample in there where everything comes down to that in the choruses.
Yeah. I mean, it's
like a light switch.
Yep. It's cool, right? I mean, at least it's a production
on the
value
nose.
thing.
Sort of
Yeah. It's sometimes on the nose is what happens. Now, as a keyboardist, do you enjoy having all those layers of keyboard? Do you appreciate it?
Yes. I've made songs that way, just in my studio.
Yeah.
And that's an art form in itself, I think. So, it's cool.
You're like, yeah, it's cool. What would you prefer though? Sitting in your room and doing that all, or playing with a band like you play with as well? What's your preference?
Depends. Because like Troll for Trout is working on an album now, where some of it was done during the everyone staying at home. Thing.
The pandemic.
I'm like losing words right now. Yeah, that's the pandemic.
Yeah.
Where I would literally phone it in, kind of. I would just make my track here, and then send it over to Mike to put it together. But since then we've had the chance to all get together in the studio, and that's where the real magic happens, I think.
Yeah.
Is when you have a band playing it together. But then there's the other side. I mean, I really appreciate bands like Kraftwerk that everything is like real mechanical and everything is exacting in its place. Then there's things between, you know, where you track some of it and then you add stuff.
Well, there's a control factor, I think, of like, you know, if everyone's sending in their pieces and you can manipulate it just the way you want it to be, that's awesome in some ways. And then sometimes when you get that live feel of everyone playing together, that can be amazing too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Things would happen that you didn't even...
Yeah, it's a good way to think about it. And even like the ebb and flow of not playing perfectly in time. Like this song sounds like it was just locked to a grid and done.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. I didn't go through the entire song with the tempo, but I would guess, yeah.
Yeah, it seems that way. Where like, yeah, you get it. But I miss the human feel, right?
Right. Yeah. And sometimes you don't. Yeah. Sometimes you can't really tell that there's an ebb and flow of the tempo until you actually set a metronome to it. It's like, wow, they're speeding way up here.
Yeah.
It just sounds human, you know.
Yeah. Last month, I think you handed in Dire Maker or I'll never pronounce it
Jamaica.
Right. Jamaica. And you're like, what do I do? It starts at 80 and it ends like 82 or some shit like that.
Right. And in that case, it was such a blatant speed up that I think I actually did say something about it.
You did, yeah.
But normally it's just something that naturally happens with the band.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully not too much to the extreme, but and I like that. I think it should be that way.
I do too. The extreme is the problem, right? I think it's very easy to it's easy to be unrehearsed and be bad at not reining it in, I guess. So
right.
And that's something I think everyone needs to work on, where you can play with a metronome or not play with a metronome or keep it looped and everything. So even like these guitar parts you wrote out. Thank you. That's a better way to say that. That you wrote out. Written out. Yeah, perfect. You kind of like say they might be guitars. They might even be guitar samples, though, right?
That could be it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wondered listening to it.
Nowadays.
Yeah. Which makes, you know, just everything interesting. And then I know on this one there was no strum in the song, which kind of seems to be par for the course with all these pop songs as of late as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Just that seems to be more, occurring more in the past kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like in the 70s.
I mean, yeah, but even like, maybe I'm wrong. I'm trying to like think of my childhood, 20 years ago. It seemed like acoustic guitar was utilized more than it is today. Now, pop very much needs to be the synthesizer, keyboard, drum machine, which is, again, I'm going to say the same thing. It's fine. But, obviously we write that strum part in case somebody wants to learn from it to get the idea and the flow of the song. We kind of already talked about the drums where we're guessing it's a sample. It's a fast song. I think it's like 174 if I remember correctly, or 184. So, like on drums, it's a little bit difficult to play that tempo.
184.
Yeah. See, I got decent memory.
Right, it's eighth notes.
Yeah, for sure. I know, a while back I was working on this one for a video, and it was a challenge to keep that tempo up for me. Not an okay drummer, right? A skilled drummer has a better technique, but that's a lot. Eighth note wise. And then the same thing with the bass. You think it's probably a sample or a synth?
Well, obviously, yeah, you can tell at the beginning. Well, the sounds in the beginning is like wow, which could be. I gotta turn this up. I don't know why it goes way down. I mean, it could be bass guitar.
Okay.
If they have a nice session musician or the guy in the band. Oh, it's not a band; it's a person. And it could be. I'm guessing it's synth of some sort or samples, because it is so intricately placed. Yeah. It's there's not the human feel to it really that much.
Yeah. Well, And again, it's kind of that production value that they're looking for.
But that works for this, you know.
No, and that's the point, right? It's sometimes it's going to come off like I'm judging it, because I am, but also it's because it's not the style of music that I go towards, right? So of course I'm going to have it like but when I put this song on, it's still kind of like a good beat, right? I still enjoy listening to it. It may not be my style or my type of music that I enjoy, but it's not a bad song to listen to.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, sometimes it works to do that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Charlie Puth is a good artist. It's just not my style, but not everyone is my style. So,
right.
Cool. I mean, any other thoughts on Light Switch?
Talking about the vocals, they do the pre-chorus. Oh, the bridges have more vocals.
Okay.
Might even be vocoder. I'm not sure, but which is more lots of vocals singing something, and then him, you know, answering.
Yeah.
You know,
that call and repeat.
It's more than just
on.
the one vocal and the whatever.
Yeah. Have you seen the music video for this song?
No, maybe a little bit.
I think we should. They do a dance routine, an exercise dance routine. I think you and I should do that.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
I think if we want to hit a viral video, that's what it would take.
Okay, you're starting to sound like you're serious now.
I'm always serious, John. I'm like the Hulk, who's always angry, but I'm always serious. No, I mean, like, they're wearing spandex, these like 80s clothes, which you can hear a little bit of that inspired in the song, or maybe 90s might be a better way to say it, but so I think we should do that.
Okay.
I'll send you the dance routine. All right, sweet. Good chat with you, John, and we'll talk to you later.
All right.
And
see you,
cut.
man.